Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well, and thank you guys so much for the support on the first episode. So I'm just going to be starting on the finance screen, something that, you know, are kind of a trick of the trade. It doesn't give away too much information. Second yellow card used to do it, and I just think it's a good screen to start with because it doesn't give away any kind of key information. But also, while we're here, we'll kind of have a quick delve into this. As you can see, I've got £21 million still inside my transfer budget, even not budget, that's not even a word. We've also got, obviously, our weekly wage bill, which we're kind of, you know, there or thereabouts with at the moment. Not really got much room for manoeuvring, which they did mention to me right at the start of the save as well. But yeah, it's still looking like a decent bank balance overall. Let's say £47 million there. Obviously, slight concern is the £1 million loss, obviously, that we've made. But you've not come to hear about all of that kind of stuff. You've come to see how we did in pre-season. Well, as you can see, in the first game of pre-season, a 1-0 win, a Douglas Costa goal as well. Very convincing all round. It was very kind of one-sided. Probably could have won by more, but just wasn't as clinical on the day. But it was still good to obviously get off to a winning start in the first game on Football Manager 2018. We then obviously got a draw at Hamburg. Lewis Holby was a player that I was potentially looking at bringing into the team. Obviously scoring a goal against me. May have done himself a favour there, but obviously we'll go on transfers in a minute. We then got a 2-0 victory over Tottenham Hotspur. Now this was the most convincing I've seen us play so far, and also kind of just shows why Buffon is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Now just look at this from Buffon here. It's Harry Kane step up, very confident player normally, and Buffon just pulls off an absolute huge. Let's just watch this again. Let's just have a quick look at that again. I mean, I was kind of expecting a goal here from Kane, obviously, you know, but no, Buffon, what a keeper. So obviously a huge save, and obviously picked up the victory there. We then went on to a 2-2 draw. Abril Tarat there, obviously playing for Genoa. A very heavily rotated side, playing a few of the players at which we weren't really playing in the other games for that one. And then a 3-1 victory as we kind of head into a 3-game run against Lazio, which is obviously good going into the Super Cup final with a kind of morale boosting victory against the team that you're about to play. Again, it was kind of a rotated squad. So it was kind of, you know, trying to keep a few players fresh, but also still wanted to get the victory over them nonetheless. As you can see, I did actually start Chesney in this match, but obviously with my boy Buffon. Haldez picking up a slight knock in that one, which was slightly concerning. But yeah, overall good pre-season. Well, then just kind of look at a few players which are kind of going to be keeping my eye out throughout this save. The first one is Lena Petrilli. Oh my god, I'm so awful with names. Obviously, he's in the under-20s at the moment. I actually have pushed him up to the under-20s as well because he was actually on the under-18s to begin with. Only 15 years old, and he's already looking like a very, very good player already. I'm going to potentially actually going to put him on the bench for a few of the games and just see what he can do in the first team, because he's look at that already. He's already looking pretty decent at 15 years old. We've also then got Ricardo Campos. He's in the under-18s at the moment. He's actually 17 years old. I don't think they've got actually a place for him in the under-18s, under-20s at the moment. So that's why I've left him in the under-18s. But another very, very talented player who hopefully can become something good in the future. And I might again play him in the first team at some point. Right, okay, now on to the transfers. Only the one transfer, Freddie Adu, has come in on a free transfer, just purely because when he's on the database, I pretty much always have to sign him. Obviously, unfortunately, he's not actually eligible to play for me because of the rule, obviously, only having 2 non-EU players in my squad. And for some reason, when it came to registration, I couldn't take one out and put him in, which was strange. I'm not too sure what was going on there. I could unselect one of the non-European players, but then I couldn't add Freddie Adu in. It just kept saying that he was eligible. Obviously, you know, he's a player which you know, quite a while ago had a very promising, you know, time with DC United and then went to Benfica. But I mean, look at that. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? But fingers crossed I can get him some game time and we'll see what will happen. Right, onto the tactics then. So this is something. It looks a bit weird, but as you can see, it's good coverage all over the pitch, I feel, and it's obviously it's kind of evolved a little bit from what we was playing at the start of pre-season. But I think now this is looking very good indeed. And obviously that 3-1 victory over Lazio in that last pre-season game just kind of goes to show how well it's been working. Obviously, you've got Sandro who's kind of playing that inverted wing back. I'm not too sure why all these say untested, because it's kind of they have been kind of playing these roles for most of pre-season. I do really like this kind of area strength. I do really like these little panels and giving you a little bit more insight to how the formation is working with it in the kind of areas of the pitch as well. But yeah, I've got Sandro who's playing an inverted wing back. He's going to be kind of cutting inside, as Douglas Costa will be staying out on that left hand side. But on the opposite side, we've then got the right back. I can't pronounce his name properly. He's actually a wing back, so we'll be looking to overlap, as we've got the right winger who's going to be coming inside, as playing that inside forward. He's going to be cutting into that space. Hopefully him and Dybala won't be getting into each other's way, as Dybala is obviously playing Bernardeschi. I think I got it right then. Dybala, hopefully he'll be playing in an advanced playmaker role, just sitting in behind Higuain. As I said, Costa will be hugging that touchline on the left-hand side, as he has been doing for most of pre-season. We've then got Sami Khedira obviously just sitting in that new role as well. That seems to be working really well, and it's really suiting him as well. And then we've got an advanced playmaker just sitting in front of him. Overall, we've got only one ball-playing defender, because I do want him to play the ball out from the defence, mostly through Regini, because he is the more talented of the ball-playing defenders, and it actually suits it really well, because it is actually his natural kind of role within the team as well. It's actually what he's better at. Now let's obviously just quickly go over into the briefings. I've not really had much success with these briefings. I don't know what you guys thoughts on them. This one seems to work though, if you just kind of let them know that obviously you're working on the formation today. Obviously it says custom formation, because it is a custom formation. That one seems to go down well, but everything else you say doesn't really seem to go down well, so I tend to just try and hand it over to the assistant manager if I can, if I'm not getting anywhere, but he doesn't really get that much further anyway. I'm presuming it's probably something to do with the fact that I've not got a lot of reputation at the moment, so they're not really paying that much attention to me, because they're probably thinking, who the hell is this bozo who is manager, which rightfully so. Right then, game time is here. It's Juventus versus Lazio. We're just obviously starting into this pre-build-up screen now. Obviously, there's been a few interviews between myself and Inzaghi as well. A little bit of mind games going on there. I think I've won that game. So let's get into the game, shall we? Well, there we go. Today's lineup. I love this new graphic. Buffon obviously starting in goal for me. We've got Sandro playing at left back, Chiellini, Regini, and the right back. We've then got Sami Khedira and Panjic. I can't pronounce names. We've got the right winger. I just learned his name, but I forgot it already. Dybala, Douglas Costa, and starting with Higuain up top. Right, here we go. This is the most important team talk I'm going to be giving to date. So hopefully I can get it right. Seems to have gone down well. That was good. I've had a little bit of success with team talks, but not always going to plan. So that's kind of good that they have. Yeah, all good. That was actually quite a good one. Normally it's oh god, here we go. Take a touch of your first Juventus match. Can you sum up feelings? I mean, I'm presuming all this kind of stuff. I mean, I've been kind of pleasantly surprised in some aspects of what the questions have kind of been thrown out there. There seems to be more answers. The questions seem to be the same, which probably is true as of football. You probably do get asked the same question over and over again. But it's kind of good that there's new answers there now this year, and some of them make me even giggle to myself sometimes. It's quite, you can give a little bit of a comedic one, giving it a little bit more personality, I'd say. That's what I kind of I'm trying to get at with this one. It just seemed to just give you that kind of little bit more of an edge than the usual generic answers. So that's kind of nice to see, and hopefully that will kind of evolve with time. But here we go. It is game time, kickoff. It's Juventus versus Lazio in this Super Cup final. I'm pretty nervous, guys, but I'm pretty confident that we beat them fairly convincingly last time round. So fingers crossed we can get the job done. Now I'm recording live here for the first time on Football Manager 2018. Let's go, boys. But hopefully we can kind of, this first highlight generally is pointless, but I'm really not too sure how we're going to be kind of doing live comms as well. I'm going to obviously live comm as much as I can and hopefully not edit out too much boring stuff. So fingers crossed it's going to be... Oh my word! 32 seconds in, and Higuain with an absolute belter there, nearly taking the lead very early on into the match. That was exactly kind of the start we could have done with. Now only 4 minutes on the clock. Can we actually make something happen here? Khedira now into Dybala. He's going to go out wide on the right. He does actually, but only to... oh my God, Dybala! There it is. Bernardeschi, I think that's his name. I think I've remembered it. There it is, Bernardeschi with a lovely ball in to Dybala. I don't know why this stupid thing is there. I wish you could just move it round. But I thought he was going to go to the right back here, but he doesn't. Goes to Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi, look at Dybala there, just holds his run ever so slightly. And Bernardeschi finds him, and it's Juventus 1 and Lazio 0. I nearly said Lazio 1, then that's slightly embarrassing. 4 minutes in, and we're already 1-0 up. This and you know, this is the pretty much best start you can ask for. Panjic now back out to Douglas Costa. Oh, it's just absolutely booted clear there now. Come on, Sandro. I don't know where that player's going, but Sandro does find the ball to Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi, go on, play it in, play it. No, where's he going? He's drawn 2 players out there. Panjic now. Oh, Sandro, go on to Costa. Costa. Yes, there it is. It's 2-0 with inside the first 10 minutes. And Douglas Costa with a finish there. Bernardeschi doing well to drag 2 players out of position. Plays into Panjic. Panjic with a lovely vision out on the left-hand side. The player gets drawn out. He has to go to Sandro, which gives the space to Costa. And it's Juventus 2, Lazio 0. Let's go, boys. What a start to the season. Now, can we kind of hold our nerve now and see this over the line? I mean, 2-0 up this early on in the match seems like a very, very promising position, but obviously there's still a lot of time left in this match. We've got to be very mindful of that, as we do lose the ball now, and they're going to they come on an attack here down the right hand side. Even go on, I'll get rid of. There's no messing there. Got the ball back in again. Oh, Buffon! What a save! This is why he is such a majestic keeper. Big time save there from Buffon, keeping it in the match and cleared from the corner. Put under the first bit of pressure there from Lazio, and a massive save from Buffon. Costa with the ball in. I've just worked on my set pieces just before this match. What was that? Panjic just kind of pulls away from the defender at the back post. Just left to kind of his own devices there. A lovely ball in from Costa, and I don't even know how that even happened. Look, the defender just leaves him, just lets him run onto it. And the keeper just stood no chance there. The defence did absolutely nothing to help him out. And it's 20 minutes into this match, and we're already 3-0 up. This tactic is kind of been tampered with. I've been kind of been messing around with it a little bit here and there. But now when it comes to the big matches, it is looking insane. I know it looks slightly weird, but Higuain now. Can we make this 4-0 before we even get into half-time? I don't think we're going to, as they do actually now look to break down the... Oh, lovely ball there. What a ball. Got some time now. A ball into the middle, and it's nothing. Nothing at all. You know, I mean, I was quite nervous coming into the match against Lazio. I did think they would, you know, the match that we played against them in pre-season, I thought they'd look to come out with a little bit more fight. But doesn't seem to be my corner. My corners could probably have a little bit of work with. But Khedira now, Dybala, Higuain free with time and space, and it is 4-0 before we even get into half time. This is ridiculous. 40 minutes in. I was just saying I probably need to re-look at my corner tactic, because that one, you know, didn't really work very well. But Khedira here finds Dybala, and again the player just gets drawn out. He's got to go to him, which leaves Higuain with a chance to turn, shoot, and the goalkeeper really stood no chance, did he? 40 minutes in, and it's Juventus 4, Lazio 0. We've now got another opportunity. We can't go 5-0 before half time. No, Higuain there just going for a cheeky shot. We've now got a corner. Let's have a look how this corner routine plays out. Dybala. I probably need to have a look at my corner routines, because it's not really working. It didn't really work that well in pre-season either, and I've kind of moved it around a little bit, but it's still not really there. I found a pretty good one for FM18. But that one just not so good. They do play the ball into the box, but again, it's just dealt with now. Bernardeschi. Are we going to hit him on the counter-attack here? But he's been taken. Referee, that is a free kick all day long. How was that not a free kick? They best not score from this. No, of course. Of course they don't score from it. It does look like we actually are going to go into half-time. We are. It's gone into half-time, and we're 4-0 up, lads. We are. I think that deserves a like. If you've not liked the video so far, I generally think that deserves a like. 4-0 at half time in a cup final. I know it's the kind of charity shield of the Italian league, but we're still playing Lazio. We are playing Lazio. They're not a poor squad. You know, I'd say on paper, obviously, the Juventus team is better, and we probably should be winning the match. But should we be dominating as much as we are? 61% possession to 39%. That is actually ridiculous. Now, guys, I'm quite tempted to kind of release this tactic. I've kind of gone through a little bit there, but if it's something you are interested, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to obviously kind of get that all sorted for you. Let's hope for a good half-time team. I'm very happy. There we go. What a response from the lads as well. I mean, rightfully so. They've got to be in a good mood. We're 4-0 up. We're 4-0 up already. And what's the second half going to bring? What could we do in the second half? Now, I'm tempted to kind of, you know, bring some players off potentially, and then look. Oh, Costa now. Costa, are we going to score straight away? No, we're not. Look to bring some players potentially off, and maybe just, you know, I'm not even attacking them. I'm only on control. And maybe look to just play a little bit defensive. But then, if we do start conceding, it's going to put a little bit of a dampener on today's kind of match. And I don't really want to do that. To be fair, I don't want to do it. Douglas Costa is playing an absolute blinder, 9.0. They've got 9.1 now, playing an absolute blinder for us. And I wouldn't say I know I've seen bits from him, but I'd say it's more been Bernardeschi that I've been seeing in the highlights. Sandro as well at left. That left role seems to be working really well together. That inverted wing back and the winger. Costa now, just as I said, I've not really seen much from him. He goes and scores an absolute banger. That's Douglas Costa, the assister from Dybala. Look at this goal here. Dybala plays a lovely ball to Panjic. Panjic back to Dybala. Just sees him. First time pass. Costa gets it out from underneath his feet. Curls it into the top bins. That is Juventus 5. Lazio 0. The second goal there as he drags his rating up to 9.5. Dybala there with the assist, obviously getting himself up to a 9.3 as well. There's not a really bad performer. Even Buffon, he's not had much to do, but that one time he was called upon quite early on in the match, pulled off a huge save. Well, let's get some other players on the pitch. Let's probably leave Costa on because he's obviously on a hat trick at the moment as well. Let's have a quick look here. We were going to bring on. Should I bring the youngster on? I think it's a good chance to bring him on. We're 5-0 up. There's no pressure at all on him. Poach. No, actually, no. We don't change the formation. Let's go. He can play advanced forward. That's fine. I mean, he's not fully fit, but you know, he's not even got a full second half left to play. 15 years old. This is his time to shine. There's absolutely no pressure on him, and he gets a winner's medal as well. Imagine that, being a 15-year-old, being, oh my word, that would be insane. Should I bring, everyone's looking pretty good, but, I mean, Khedira maybe? Do I bring Khedira and bring Matuidi on just for that? Yeah, let's just do that. But imagine that being 15 years old, and do I bring anyone else? Or do I use all three of my subs now? I think I am. BenDPB is going to come on as well. I could actually completely regret this. I'm going to do it anyway. BenDPB coming on for his debut for Inter Milan. I'm presuming it would be. I'm not too sure. But imagine that, being 15 years old, being thrown onto the Super Cup final against Lazio and getting a winner's medal. Because, I mean, if we don't win this now, that's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Bernardeschi now with a lovely ball into the middle. It's come back out. What's he doing over there? BenDPB into Costa, and Costa gets his hat trick. Oh my word! BenDPB with probably his first touch of the game there, and gets an assist. Look at that there. It's kind of dealt with. I'm not too sure what the right back's doing out here. I really learned how to pronounce his name, but BenDPB. Look at that great vision there through to Costa with a lovely timed run, and it's Juventus 6, Lazio 0. And that's Douglas Costa's hat-trick. So rightfully it looked like, I didn't take him off because I've seen, you know, he's on a hat-trick. Could he get hat-trick? I didn't think it would happen. But it has happened. And we are actually beating Juventus 6-0. And we've also brought on a 15-year-old striker as well for his debut in Juventus colours in a final. I mean, how much better can it get than that? I mean, you know, it doesn't look like he's actually going to do much. But at the end of the day, you know, it's still a good day out for him, isn't it? Good day out for the lad. Costa now with a ball in. No, that's just that wasn't the best ending. But you know, look at that. Oh, there we go. Look at the graphics, the scenes, the limbs are everywhere. Look at the confetti. Someone's got to clean that up. I mean, I do feel sorry for the groundsmen. You know, they put a lot of time and effort into getting this ground in perfect condition. That's a nice touch there. The players going over to the fans, led by, I'm presuming that's me. I don't know, is that me? But what a performance! 6-0, guys. 6-0. I've just won in a cup final, and I beat the opposition, a very good opposition, 6-0. That is insane. Right, okay, there we go, have it, guys. A 6-0 win against Juventus in the Italian Super Cup. The achievements are flying through there as well. And that is absolutely shocking. And just, what? I don't even know. No, that graphic looks a bit off, doesn't it? Right then, guys, that's probably just it for today's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm going to come back against the Champions League Group Cup stage, whatever it is, along with the draw as well in the next episode. So if you have enjoyed this one, don't forget to show support by dropping a like on the video. I've been Just M1ke Plays, and I'll speak to you legends soon.